everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into our PBEM Bonsai Challenge in WarPlan Pacific. And as you can see, I hover over Australia, leading Allied forces against the Imperial Japanese. We're in an interesting situation. I've been staring at this for a while. It's now September 27th, 1942, by the way. Dateline. Um, we're in an interesting situation down here now. You may remember last time we busted through here and we overran one of his air units. Now he, of course, immediately responded to that by getting his air units covered up a little bit. I'm sure he was not happy about that. Never want to lose an air unit being overrun. Now, we had one overrun out here as well. That was that Australian unit that, quite frankly, wasn't doing too well by the time it got overrun, and it will come back on the map at some point, as will his, by the way. But it's always nice to knock one of those out, especially when he's got full air, a lot of air down here. He doesn't have air superiority completely. We do have a couple of close support bombing units down here that have been doing a pretty good job. But he certainly has an advantage over us here. We built more fighter bombers that will be coming on the map sooner rather than later. But again, it's just hard to determine exactly what to do here. We, of course, Canberra is pretty much the whole ball game. Um, it's the only victory location down here, and it is the national supply source. And so, we've got to keep Canberra, or all of these units will wither and die on the vine. That being said, Sydney is incredibly important because it's the only port where we can get things into. So, Canberra can supply everything on its own, but we could never get reinforcements or anything else in here if we don't hold Sydney. And so, of course, he's going to be coming after Sydney, and you can see he's starting to scoot around as a little bit of a stronger unit here. We are behind the river, and we do have what I would call a unit in reserve that I think we can get up here and continue to try to advance towards Melbourne, because I don't think he's that strong out here. He's got this one unit. We have an isolated unit down here, unfortunately. But yeah, Australia is kind of a riddle. The other big thing going on the map is all of our transports out here. And I have to say, in one of the most incredible coincidences of all time, in both games I've played Bonsai, every single time that I come to land somewhere, we've got double rain. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, I mean, we can't land. It's double rain. We could come up here and try to land, but we can't land. And so now we've got all these transports just stuck out here with well, I don't want to say nothing to do. They're going to have to retreat out of here. Now, part of the problem we have, though, is the Brits no longer have any oil. They have used up all the oil. We used it moving these transports out for the most part. So I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it. We were all ready to go. I was going to go into Mangalore, Madras, and Bombay all at the same time and also try to overrun this air unit. We're going to have to give up that little idea. And they're exposed out here. It's a bad situation. It's just incredible every single time. Every single time I go to invade someplace, it's double rain. Now it's the longest monsoon season I've ever seen in my life, and it just only happens whenever I'm going to attack. It's crazy. Anyway, over to China, which is the other third, I would call this the third major front. We're holding on. This little wedge that we've created here has actually done a pretty dang good job. Um, you know, we've really whittled him down around here. Now, it built up a little bit last turn. These had gotten down to 1-1-0. I mean, he just didn't have a whole lot left. He keeps coming into this unit, but, some of it's across rivers, and so it's fairly well sheltered except into this, from this hex. This is considered across a river. here just because there is a river in that between the hexes. So that's across the river, that's across the river. He's got to attack across the river here. So when you play somebody that's good and they're going to pressure you in China and you may actually lose it if you play somebody really good, the best way to defend this is right here along this river line because it's very hard for him. He can do it eventually if we never relieve the pressure. But it takes a while anyway as he keeps trying to attack in here. All right, let's go to the combat log and let's look at last turn. We had partisan activity out in China. Yes, we did. And we actually had some down in New Zealand. The Kiwis are tired of the occupation. Maybe we should go help them out. Ground strike. All right. So it looks like the way he's coming after this is two ways. He's going to try to bombard here. Now, let's get off here for a second. We know he's got 6 carriers in this group. That's the most that you can have in a task force. He's got 6 carriers and a battleship and a couple of other ships in there. And we don't know what this is. Okay. I kind of wish we did. Of course I did, right? But I wish we did just because I have a feeling he peeled some of his other carriers out. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know that for certain, but I have a feeling that maybe he did. Um, and I'd love to know that because if they're headed towards India, I certainly that's information we'd like to have. Maybe we'll put down a comment here and see if we get any information off the coast. We'll see. We'll see. All right, back to the combat log. Oh, anyway, continuing. So he's going to bombard into Sydney. All right. It looks like he's already started a little bit. This was a 13. Its effectiveness is down to 90%, so now it's only showing a 12 combat value. Okay, it is 1942 assault, and so it's as good as it gets for the Americans right now, anyway. Um, it's got a 5.34 here, but it looks like he wants to bomb away at this. Now, this is at 65% effectiveness after the bombing. It is a 28 of 30. It's an assault 42. Again, we can't do much better than that with the Americans at this point. I'm wondering, yeah, I don't think, yeah, the Aussies are up to a 43 assault, so they have a little advantage there. The Americans are only a 42, but I've got this as an elite unit, so speaking of which, we got to be getting close to specialty, but let's just look at specialty points. Yep, next turn we'll get a new specialty for the US. Now, usually I like to put those on the carriers for air screens. Gives them better AA capability. We'll see. We'll see. I may make this elite or make this elite. Uh, we'll see as we go along. All right, back into the combat. So he's hitting this unit. Ground strike, ground strike, ground strike, ground strike. He just bombed the hell out of it. It didn't really have much of an effect. I mean, I'm not going to say it had no effect. It did take down his effectiveness from 100% to 90%, I think. Then he came in on land combat, and holy mackerel, he got 6 against us there. Ouch! But we held. Then we dealt out 4 and took 1, and we held. And then he hit out here in China. That just randomly we come over here to China and he hits this unit. We took 1 in loss, strength loss there, but we did hold. So good. The current turn, it's pretty much all partisan attacks, and now that he's shifted, you can see the convoy attack. He's hitting coming into Australia. He got it right here. He got 3 of our merchant marines, and we'll once again shift our convoys. This time we got to get oil to the UK. I mean, we just have to. We're down to 17 total merchant marines. If you would have told, oh, hey, we do know what's in here. Okay, this is his other carrier fleet. So he's got both carrier fleets right here. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Um, Now we could do something crazy, which is, send literally our entire navy here. Now we'd probably lose all 6 carriers, but we may take 6 or 8 of his with us because we would have battleships and everything else that could continue to attack. But man, that doesn't sound like something I would do, right? And indeed, it is something I would not do. But it's just an idea. The Brits get to deploy a naval asset, this time a destroyer. So that goes in there along with this cruiser that we already had here, and they have the 70th Division. So they have a brand new division. They can go in right there. Maybe we'll put it into that. We've got a big old beastly British unit then. The U.S. We get a new battleship. Surprise, surprise. The U.S. turns out battleships like it's making cookies. Let's put that in LA, sure. And then we've got an infantry corps small that we could really kind of put anywhere here. Tell you what, well, let's close that very quickly. Let's take this unit, no, this unit, no, this unit, potentially. Uh, let's put We'll just put him in Portland, and well, wait a minute. Can I deploy into Astoria? Actually, I don't think I can. Whoops. All right, let's just check. I don't think. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. Fine. We'll put that down into Astoria. And that's done. And now we've got a comment. And let's go here. Oh, well, we already know that now. Let's go look up here. I'm actually just very curious what he has at Calcutta. If this is a small formation, I almost would rather go into Calcutta because that kind of cuts him in half a little bit. Now, Calcutta is only, well, it's back up to three production. Well, I guess Bombay is back up to three as well. I mean, ultimately, you want to try to get to Delhi because Delhi would be a national supply source again. It's got 10 production sitting here. Um, Oh hell, let's spend a comment. My gosh, I hold on to these things like they're gold, and they really don't tell you that much. Okay, and now we can see he's, of course, he's already interdicting Chittagong. We don't even have anything in Chittagong, but he's just decided he's going to go ahead and interdict it anyway. That's obviously to try to deter us landing there, and I'm actually glad I know that now. Um, Okay, I don't know. With these transports, I guess I'm just going to let them sit. What else can I do with them? I could take them all the way back to East Africa, but I don't know that that really makes any sense. I guess I'll scoot this guy back a little bit. Hell, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating that seemingly every time I'm going to go land somewhere, we've got double rain. Uh, Okay, he's gonna sit right there. Sure, why not? Um, Okay, just thinking for a second what to do next. Let's go through the deployment, make sure we don't have anything else to deploy. China, no. Australia, that's that air unit that will eventually get back, but it'll only have one strength. Ooh, that's right. The Canadians add some firepower to the map. Look out. Game on. The Communist Chinese, nothing, of course. Okay. Well, we kind of did one of the big things here, but let's go look at our reports. Let's look at forces now. U.S. Crest 300 up to 318. All right, we've got 60 in the air, 114 naval. We added a battleship there and we added a small corps, so we're adding down to 17 merch marines. Just absolutely ludicrous. Part of that is he's playing very well against the convoys. I mean, he's doing it within the game. This is how you do it. For us, I don't know what I'd really do different. I mean, we got to try to get stuff through. What's the point of having merch marines if you're not going to try to get it through? Now, this is really going to hurt us later, though, when we start to take other territory and we need the merch marines coming out here and whatnot. But be that as it may, it is what it is. I will say it's absurd to think that the Japanese would have shut down U.S. British shipping like this. What I mean in the Atlantic, I mean the U.S. could obviously get things into England. Now you may say, well, then how do you get it out to India? Well, the Brits did that through the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal would not be open right now. They did not take control. So I guess you can, if you're thinking of it historically, you can say, well, the Suez Canal is not open now. You know, okay, that's that's kind of how you have to play it in your mind, I guess. Casualties, right. I mean, the Brits really haven't taken hardly any casualties except to their merch marine fleet that's gotten absolutely ravaged. We're getting the Japanese up there. I like that. 214, 55, and 32. I mean, we'll add to this later. This is the big one. Just chip, 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 chip it away. If and when we can take back India, India's got so much manpower and logistics. It's how you win the game against against a good or a bad player. But when you're playing somebody that doesn't isn't that great, or at least not this good, let's put it that way, you just overwhelm them with India, and you can see that in my previous Let's Play my previous PBEM challenge is we never gave up India, and after a while, I mean, hell, we had as many Indian forces on the map as there were Japanese forces, damn near, and we just overwhelmed them with sheer manpower. We got to get back to that spot. It's just a matter of where in India we advance. Okay, sunk ships. You get it. It's Prince of Wales. It's been the same for a very long time. So the idea is we're going to take this British unit up, we're going to overrun that, we're going to take these guys, and we're either going to land over here, up here. I think those are really the two choices. I mean, we could potentially land down here, but it just doesn't we would have to try to get to Bangkok very quickly, and he's got, and we would have to take Bangkok before he can reinforce it. Unfortunately, he controls, all of these rail lines, and so he can take them out of Saigon. He could bring this unit around. I mean, it's on the rail line. He could also bring this down from here. So, I would like to take either Rangoon or Bangkok. I mean, if I was just saying what on the map would I love to take over here, it'd be one of these two. I'm just not really sure how we get in there and do that. Because I don't think we can move fast enough to take Bangkok. I don't want to take these transports all the way around again. I don't really want to land here. We know we already had ships interdicting these ports before we even get there. And so, yeah, I mean, we could land Tavoy, Mole Mine. These two, even these three ports cannot support everything we have here. We've got to get a bigger fish. And I mean, that could be Calcutta. It could be Rangoon, but Rangoon's not even big enough. Now we could land Mole Mine in Rangoon. I'm actually curious. I think this is only a small formation. I think it's only a division. Well, hell, we'll get another comment eventually, and then we'll figure that out. War panel, speaking of which, war panel there. We can get another one in 2 months, and we'll go check that out. Advancements, I don't think there's anything left to do there. Convoys, I already changed this before I started recording. We're going 20 oil into the UK. We'll try to get it all the way around there. We shall see. We got to get 10 oil or something in there. The build queue, UK starting to get build a little bit. US got 335. We could build another air asset, or we may do something a little different because there's a certain unit that I want to put into Australia. You can see the Chinese may get another unit before long. Um, oh, wait a minute. Is that the Russia? Gosh darn it, I always do that because from afar, that looks like the Chinese flag now, right? So I always think it's China. It's never China. It's the Soviet Union. We're putting, everything we can into upkeep here of the Chinese forces. Australia got really nothing. Hey, the Canadians advancing yet again. They're up to 52. They could actually do landing ships for the Brits. The Brits only have 50 and only 50 in transport. Something to think about. The commies up to 92. Hey, eventually they can get another unit, I think. Hold on. Let's see. Do they have? Yeah, they've got the logistics and the manpower to get another division. That's what I thought. All right. Well, we got a lot of units out, or we got a lot of stuff sitting on transports out here. Just dangerous as hell. I mean, this gives him time to react, assuming he can see any of them. Okay. I don't know what to do. I mean, we can't go back into port because without oil, we can't take them back out of port. We had this all set up, but of course, the rain has hit. Let's kind of go around here now that we've given up Kunming, and down here I like to look at the logistics. Now that we've given up Kunming, we may as well continue moving this north. We may as well stay right here for these guys across the river. This river is pretty dang defensible. Now, this is where he hit us last time. I don't see a reason to move any of these guys. I just don't see it. Now, we could attempt to attack there. It's 5 to 1 odds. I really, really don't want to um, wear this guy down. That being said, at some point we probably want to push back. Now, this is a very strong unit, but we also have a strong unit out here. It's a 40 assault. You can see some of the Chinese units are now 41 assault, but the base case good unit now is a 40 assault. You see here we only have a 39 assault. That's a 41 assault. We may want to change those two out. How dug in is he? He's not really that dug in. Let's flip those two. All right, so now we got that 39 assault back there. He's a 41 assault, doubly dug in. 40. Now this is where he hit last time. This was this guy. What is this? That's also a 40 assault. This all looks fine. This all looks fine. We could drop this guy back more. We could also put these guys across the river. For instance, I could put this commander out this way so he doesn't try to get out and around us. Now, unlikely he's going to do that with cavalry, but I guess you never know. Okay, so let's put him there. I kind of like him there, but I guess the risk is that we see a bust through there. Yeah, sure. I'll put him there for now. And then we have uh, 30 of 30 infantry. Let's take the logistics off very quickly. I mean, this is pretty much our strongest unit in the game, except it's only a 1940 assault, not a 1941, but he should build up to that. The Flying Tigers are back, boys. 16 of 20. They got as low as like 4 or 5 points, I think, at one point, but now they're up to 16 of 20. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take them off priority with no reason to build them any further than that. I'm going to keep him on priority and maybe put this guy on priority. This is 30 of 30. He needs to build. He's only 15 of 30. This guy was 20 of 30. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't think he's going to attack across the river and blow him out. So I think we're okay there. 23 of 30. He probably doesn't need priority anymore. He's looking all right. Maybe this guy, 17, 18, 22, 20. Yeah, I'm just going to move this headquarters around, I don't know, to like maybe here or something. Okay, I think that all looks fine. And then up here in communist territory, we could take a shot at this guy. It's only 1 to 1 though. It's very hard to attack out here, obviously. We could take a shot at this guy and see if we can get anything. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. We could also keep bringing this guy around one way or the other. We don't want him sneaking around this way, certainly. Let's bring him over here. Gosh, let's undo that. I kind of want to shift these two guys. He's 19 of 30. All right, they're both 40 assault. I am going to switch those two, and I'm going to bring him around here eventually. I guess next turn. I'll put him right there, and I just don't see how we can do much better than that. Let's take one shot at this guy. Okay, that's enough. I'm not gonna risk wearing these guys down. I just want to give him a little shot and see what happened. But that looks fine to me. We've got him in full support. I think that's all going to be fine. Nothing where I'm going to do with these guys out here. Just not seeing it. Okay, now we're into Australia, and the first thing we need to do Now, I would imagine these guys got out of supply for a moment. They're probably now back in supply. Let's look at the logistical situation. Everything looks pretty good there. I'm going to bring this guy up the way here, and now I'll get back out of logistics, and he can. Now this guy's probably going to try to cut him off, but we're going to come down this way. Let's look at logistics again. Can he get over here? He can. So can he. Can he get up there? Probably. All right, so we're going to go this way, and we're going to push out here a little bit. Now, I hate to get him out across the river. I'm going to wait on him, actually. I'm going to advance this way. All right. What do we got? 1-to-1. All right. That's not going to do a whole lot. This is probably where we really want to think about hitting, especially once he gets back in supply next time. Now I'm going to bring this guy here. That's what I was afraid of. Now he can get up there, but he's a stronger unit, certainly. I just don't want him to get across this river, get a free cross of the river. And also, in some ways, well, he's not going to get attacked next time. Hmm. You know what? I think we're okay. I wonder how strong this unit is. Now I wish I had the comment back. All right. I think we're going to have to do it that way. Now he's going to lose effectiveness, and I hate to see that. But I think that's the best we can do there. Okay, let's start bombing away to the extent we can. Where do we want to bomb though? I think right here, right? This guy's the vulnerable guy. If we can get out and around him, we've really got him under some pressure. All right, so we took 2 damage, but he took 1. And we took 2 again. Ouch. Okay, well, that wasn't great. As you can see, he continues, he's always building back up. We could airstrike here, or we could continue to try to hit down here somewhere. This guy's only a 15 to 20. We got to be careful. We got to be careful there. Uh, I think I will come back down here. All right, so 0 and 0. We did knock him down a combat effectiveness level, 0 and 0. Okay, well, we gave it a shot. That's only 1 to 2. Okay. 1 to 2, 1 and 1. Nothing really else to do there. We're a little strung out here. This is a fairly defensible hex. We've got to get him back dug in. He's dug in 1, he's dug in 2. We've also got that elite. We can make something an elite next time. Now, these guys could attack here. They've got a 2 to 1. I don't really see the advantage in it, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to let that be. Okay, so we've done China, we looked at India. I had already moved our partisan here as I continue down the road to either Derby or Darwin. That's fine. Nothing else out here. I've been thinking about coming down and starting to do some bit of island work. And what do I mean by that? Well, he's got both of his carriers down here in Australia, or both of his carrier groups down here in Australia, trying to take Sydney. Well, I would like to pull one or both of those away, and we could do something like pull it away and then come in with the rest of our Navy, but I don't think we're quite to that point yet. I've got a lot of subs, obviously. We're looking for them to upgrade. Let's look at advancements and see where the U.S. subs are. They've got another 65 days before they go to a 1942. I wish they were closer. Um, I mean, you can't really do anything with these suckers until the start of 1943 because they make another torpedo advancement, and this will go up to a 1942 level. And also, we will have done other things. We can probably put another point or two in there because subs become ever more important as you move on. We've got the battleship. Hell, I don't know. We could leave him here. We've got this garrison that came in. You know what? I'm actually going to put this guy here um, in Santa Barbara. I'll just disembark him here. I'd rather use the transport for something else. We just put this unit down in Astoria. We'll get him on his way next time, and he can follow up either in India or in Australia. All right, let's go to the build queue because I don't think we have any other units to move. We can flip through here very quickly. Now we gotta hope he doesn't get knocked back. These units have strengthened up. We've got a 9 and an 8. Um, maybe we're being a little aggressive here. I don't know. But we've got to try to push out a little bit. Uh, he's got, we're tying up a lot of his forces, but he's really got no other place to go with them, right? Right? I mean, he's taken India and he's taken the rest of Australia, so it's not as if, he's got other places to use these. Now he will when we land somewhere else. Um, I'm not sure if I love this move down here. He's going to be out to like a 1. We may have to back up again here in a minute. We'll see. I might be being a little aggressive, but we'll give it a turn. If we have to back up, we'll back up. That's fine. Logistics, okay. All right. Let's go to the build queue. There's nothing for the Brits to do. The US can build a new something. What do we want? Well, let's go look to our deployment and see what we have coming up. We've got another submarine and we've got another division coming in the next couple of turns and another comment coming within the next couple of turns. More landing ships on the way. We've got a battleship and then it all changes December 31st and the 1st of January. We get interceptors, as you can see here. This is that interceptor squadron that was actually overrun down here. It comes back, and we get a fighter group. The fighter bombers are first ones that we built. We get an Essex. We get a light carrier. I built some merch marines. So a lot happens in January 43, and then you can see through February we just get carrier after carrier, fighter groups. We get a lot of stuff. I think for the U.S. this time, I was gonna build another air unit, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna go down to mechanized core, and this will. Ooh, I can't quite get one. It costs 360. Well, shoot fire. Core large, 42, 234 points. Let's purchase that. All right. And so we'll have a large core coming in. And then let's go to support and build 10 more Merch Marines. That takes us down to 1. Perfect. Rightio then. China, Australia, yep, nothing else to do. Nothing else to do in the build queue. Okay, I think that's going to do it. We are progressing along here. September of 1942. We're not quite yet 10. Well, I guess we're a little over 10 months into the war. Is that right? Yeah, a little more than 10 months into the war. We got another 3 years to go. So, we've got plenty of time. That's why I actually think this was a little aggressive. Not something I would usually do. I'm bowing to your peer pressure. No, I won't blame it on you. Um, okay, I think that's going to do it. I will talk to you next time. This has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Have a good one.